What's up, guys? This is PB Geki, and I'm going to go through a match analysis of myself against DTR Mortsy. A guy originally from Ottawa. He is now with Vancouver, and yeah, he's using F.A.N.G and using Rashid. So we're going to take a look at his game against me. Spoilers, I do win, so this is more for him than for myself, but this will help me overall as well. Alright, so let's check it out. This is in Grand Finals. And so I'm in winners, and Mortsy is in losers. So, in general, I think this matchup is really hard for F.A.N.G. I will say, especially with the inclusion of VT2 for Vega, because Alegrios is really good for countering certain stuff that's reactable by F.A.N.G. But VT2 helps F.A.N.G a lot too in this matchup, because gives him more plus frames, more chip damage, better damage on certain combos as well. So I'm curious to see what I can break down for him. Okay, using the up balls. And the thing is, like, I've noticed every time we play, Mortsy has a pattern of doing something like something low commit, and then something high commit, and then back to something low commit in neutral, right? Like, he'll go like at the beginning there, he did V skill, and then he did up balls, and then he did something else like a crouch medium kick, right? So I'm looking for the pattern, and once I get a read on it, then I go for wall dive to get over him or to get in a bit, just to kind of get through his poison cloud. Because the only way Vega will win is usually with like well-spaced neutral, if I can shut down the fireballs, and if I can't shut down the fireballs, I have to go in on him, right? And basically once I knock him down, I should stay on him, because he doesn't have a reversal like Vega does as well. So basically both of us on defense is going to be bad for that person. So if I can maintain and put offense on the person, or on the other person, then that's ideal. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm trying not to stay cornered too, because F.A.N.G's pressure is actually pretty good, especially in the corner. There's very small gaps in his frame traps, and you'll see I try to jump out. Yeah, I get the stagger jump.
Nice roll through there.
Yeah, and command grab is going to be really good in this match too. And I didn't see Mortsy really punish or bait my command grab. Yeah, and I'm trying to bait with wall dives too. Like, he's trying to fight. I think the space he should be at is like, I wouldn't say, I think the longer range you play, the better. And you don't have to throw out too much committing stuff with F.A.N.G. But there you go. This is the way to... Yeah, because I have meters. I can always EX roll through. Okay, jump. Okay, and this is just a punish. Convert. And I go for the reset because I don't have enough I don't have any meter. I could have gone for slide. That probably would have killed. Back throw. Yeah. I think hitting a crouch short or down strong in that situation would have been good to check me as I walk forward. Because I won't throw a heavy normal out too far. And Vega's overhead has a lot of startup. It's not active for a while, so...
Anyways, nice jump in from Mortsy to start. Converts into critical art.
Yeah, and then super is a good choice in this situation because I don't have much bar. So why not? Yeah, he just messed up a few things there, and then I got out. And that's been doing really well, because I'm always trying to get around his projectiles, but that one is the hardest for him to avoid, because it goes straight up, and I'm basically landing on it every time I'm trying to get in on F.A.N.G. Because I can't even dash forward, because that's even a worse situation. Because he can combo a lot of the times too. Okay, pressure. Yeah, this pressure is good. Yeah, I think when I got further away, you did coward crouch, and that was a bad idea because it wasn't in a string. I think if you're doing it just raw, it should be for a setup or something like that. But I think only going for it during pressure strings or ways to keep, gaps tighter and whatnot, and to keep pressure up or momentum, then is a good idea. But otherwise, I can do something like, jump over it, or, at least try to have an answer to it.
Well, no hits from Vega, and now Alegrios active. Let's see, air to air from Mortsy, nicely done. Goes for the hands from downtown. No
Yeah, no punish on this suite. I know you were probably baiting the counter.
Drawing out the Alegrias counter. Neutral jump gets blasted by that EX Barcelona.
Yeah, and I'm staggering my lows sometimes because I notice you like to walk back a lot. So maybe if you just check me instead, then I would get hit instead, right? So I'm not saying don't ever walk back. Obviously, walking back is good. But with Vega, I can always catch a lot more people because depending on the character, they're usually pretty slow. But I think if you mix up between, you know, backdashing or... Because at least you get air reset, and then you can punish my stand medium punch after the counter hit, or after the crouch medium hit. Crouch medium kick air resets you. Yeah, I think that's probably the best choice.
Command grab from
and then
Geki.
also just checking as well.
Time. Gets checked. Activation from Mortsy.
Nice. Good. Plus frames. Yeah, I think you just missed it. It was 2+.
The block stun was still there. Whiffs on the throw and
I think it was just a few spots where you could have polished the interaction a bit. I don't feel like that one was out of your grasp too much. I think maybe you let it affect you. I'm not sure. I can't say. But if you feel like that isn't a thing, then something also to focus on.
In the corner is
yeah, and I'm mostly gonna stay on claw in neutral because I can poke and interrupt your fireballs and check some of your pressure when you whiff certain things. But I'm not gonna get a lot of damage.
Finds the crush counter sweep, mix up time.
Yeah.
Nice block there from Geki. Good guess on that 50-50
There you go.
attempt.
I think doing like a good hit and run style with F.A.N.G is probably the best way to win with F.A.N.G in this matchup.
Finds the poison.
Just because I'm more mobile than F.A.N.G is as Vega, so you have to be just as mobile. If you stay in one spot for too long, it's very easy for Vega to move around you. You know, especially with bar.
Let it stack. So far, so good for
Nice. I think that's probably a really good choice to be looking out for. Like you set up one thing like a poison cloud, or you know the up balls, and then you wait for my response, and then you air to air me, because then it's usually the most consistent choice, unless you get predictable with it, right? Obviously, don't do it every time, but excuse me, especially if you have a life lead, it's a good choice.
That neutral jump,
yeah, like right there, like you couldn't anti-air it with the fireballs. It's too slow, and I'm too mobile with it too.
Full poison punish on the part of Mortsy from that V-skill poison.
And the thing is, like, as me, I'm always trying to check you on gaps. So I think if you keep your frame traps tight, and or opt to do things like fierce in between some strings to like catch me checking you, I think that's gonna really help you in the matchup, because Vega wants to use, and especially the way I play, I don't like to hold mix-up for too long. Because I try to look for the gaps that you give me, and then I try to respond with something like backdash, with short, jump, with, you know, command grab, EX roll, something to, you know, kind of reset the situation, or to at least take my turn back, right? And sometimes I get counter hit, sometimes I get crush countered. Definitely though, if I get crush countered, I will definitely not be pressing. I will check way less if I get crush countered. So, and so do most players, but especially with me, if I'm getting called out on my checking, then I tend to do it less. So that might be a good way to make your pressure more solid if you insert some like stand fierces with F.A.N.G during certain block strings. I don't know when the best time would be for certain block strings, but I'm sure you can find ones that will crush. If I hit a light normal, it will just I'll get crushed. It should stun. Yeah. It does a lot of damage. Yeah, I could have just grabbed, but I wanted the setup.
Unfortunate for Geki, but finds the command grab, the Spanish-German suplex to finish.
The thing is, you had full bar. I think you did try to super, so I'm not sure what that was. I think it was probably input error.
EX hands from Mortsy. No anti-air. Geki gets that jump in clean. Gonna push to the corner. Rolling crystal flash, I guess. I don't even know the name of the attack, but the rolling attack gets through.
Yeah, keeping me in the corner is definitely the best choice because I have a difficult time. So I think where you were standing before is standing just a bit further back. Because if you're right next to me, then I can wall jump out and I can make your anti-airs whiff, and I can do a cross-up light kick to hit you on the way down. So if you just stand a bit further back, like maybe where, I'd say maybe where, right here. If you stand about right here, if I wall jump out, you can anti-air me free. I have to fight the neutral screen, or neutral space in front, which is like about here. So I think that's the best spot to be standing if you're trying to keep me cornered. And then you can just use the up balls to harass me, or you could probably use medium punch, because then it'll catch me going forward, and I won't be able to like neutral jump here to avoid them, you know? It'll be a really tight situation. Especially because right now I don't have bar. So when I don't have bar, you should really harass with your best frame traps and your best pressure, because I can't EX roll out of any of it, right? So I think that's one thing to notice too, just my meter awareness when I'm on defense. Because when you're on offense, you have full bar, so you can definitely convert huge, right?
Gonna look to keep pushing the pressure. Geki with a challenge.
Yeah, so this is good. What you're doing here is good. But see, you did the light punch, so that's why I was able to get out. If you did medium, probably I wouldn't have been able to get out, and I would. Now I'm back to neutral, right?
On that jab, anti-air attempt, air to air works out for Mortsy, and now the poison gonna start going to work.
I actually kind of believe maybe you can try V-Trigger 1 in this match, because it turns V-Skill into a fireball. And anytime Vega has to deal with horizontal fireballs, especially one that's that slow, I can't V-Skill through it, so I have to deal with it. So it might be worth it. Yeah, and I went for the stagger there, yeah.
Flying German suplex from the Spanish ninja. Closing it out, and now
it's a hard match, but I think those things will help you.
Looking to finish it off.
Because the thing is, you technically don't need better offense with V-Trigger 2. You need better screen control, right? And VT1 is good because as I'm hitting you, I'm getting poisoned, right? Because I'm next to you. So I think that actually is much better as a V-Trigger choice.
Gonna let it continue to go to work. Geki needs to find a hit. Poison almost reset there.
And then it becoming a fireball is huge. Nice sweep. Yeah, good check. There you go. And Vega is so bad against resets. So if you go for them more often, it's a lot worse for me. Yeah. Nice crush. Yeah, you can kill me here. Oh, you messed it up. And you can just wait. There you go. That was good. Yeah, that was a good choice. I think this is where you turn it around, and then I think I just adapt to your adaptation. Yeah, see, you're doing one thing, and now you're just waiting. That was just a weird situation. Yeah, that was kind of rough. Yeah, that was ambiguous setup.
Damage, nicely done there on the part of PB, Geki, and Vega,
yeah.
Dominating round number 2.
This is tough. It's a tough match, I will say. But like I said, I think the V-Trigger choice is what's hindering you as well. And I think using medium ball is going to be better than using light ball. Because the point of using light ball, I think, is basically to keep above your head covered. But F.A.N.G, you can just anti-air with the down fierce, the double slaps. Or you can neutral jump and air-to-air me. Because F.A.N.G is good in air-to-air options as well, right? Like medium punch, I believe, is the normal to go to. Because I think covering the upwards horizontal space is more important, right? Because then I can't walk forward and jump. And I can't start to jump, right? I need to use wall dive that way. And then wall dive is easier to bait than jump, right? Excuse me. Okay, nice. Good convert. Yeah, V skill, okay.
Now Geki full jumping, gonna get the Azuna drop. Nope, just stays with the flying Barcelona attack.
Yeah, I should have confirmed.
Command grab gets caught with EX hand.
Yeah, nice. This is good.
Yeah,
good. Yeah, and that's not plus. You can try activating off something else other than sweep too, because I do know it's not real. Yeah.
Activated into EX roll. Geki went for the stagger, got caught.
Yeah, I shouldn't have countered. That was good. Good pickup. Like V-Trigger, it works. Your VTR
On the
2
board.
works. It's just I
Mortsy.
still think it's better. I don't know. You can give it a shot.
Now let's
Try it
see
a
if
few
Geki
times.
is on that Mortsy
Play with it.
train to
You
reverse
probably will
Sweep
have to
City.
adjust
I
how
don't
you
know.
play.
We'll see.
Like take a more zoning
one.
approach, and I think you'll do better in this matchup in general. Like because only when you're if you're not on offense, you should get away from me, right? Because fighting in neutral is really difficult unless you're like further away. Like from here, I think a bit out of my my Buster Claw range. Like basically at the tip of my Buster Claw range is the range you want to kind of fight, because it's hard for me to get in, right? And anything I do at that space is reactable, so and going for that is a good idea. Nice.
Up ball catches Geki on the way up. F.A.N.G pressure continuing. The poison adding up off the wall.
Yeah,
Does
that was a
Geki
good
go?
anti-air, because now you
Now
corner
curious
me,
for the
right?
anti-air. Now more pressure from Mortsy. Nice check there from Geki after the
And the thing is, I think you haven't thrown me enough for me to be scared of shimmy, right? So you should throw me like a lot. A lot. I see you going for it though,
punish on the
but it
side.
hasn't
Here
worked
comes
yet. That's
Allegrias
probably
anti-air.
why.
Geki has a shot. Plus on that EX roll, gets the slide as well, trying to protect himself with Allegria, spends it both, and now Mortsy with a chance.
Yeah,
There's
okay,
the
that
up
was a
ball.
good situation to
What's
use
the
up ball.
mix-up? It's a
But I still
knee
think
slap to
anti-air
the
is better,
face.
because if that messes up, then, you know.
Beautiful jab check into throw. All real lands tick, lands
But I
throw,
mean, you know, of course, once in a while,
around.
it's fine. Just as a main tool. Yeah.
Anti-air misses, unfortunate for Mortsy, made the right read, made the wrong direction.
I think what you can also try doing,
Sweep is gonna
when I do a wall dive and it's for trying to go over something, you should definitely command dash out, just to avoid it. Because I mean, staying slippery I think is so important. And like I said, the more you stay still and try to control with like projectiles like that, it's a little easy for me to snipe you out of it, right? But if you just keep moving around and like throw a fireball, move around some way, you know, then it's hard for me to track you down and kind of lock on with wall dive.
get punished. Mortsy in trouble in the corner now. Geki stands.
I think just basically
more
switching
pressure.
between playstyles, you need to be faster with it. Yeah, you can't low profile EX wall dive now.
Barcelona attack into ASEEX. Gonna find the stun on this conversion, and more importantly, going to even up.
Yeah,
round game
command
number
grab.
4
Most meter
and
build,
one
so
round apiece. Mortsy
optimal.
fighting off another championship point.
Yeah, and you're trying to go offense though, which I don't think is a bad idea, but like I said, I think long term it's not going to win you the game. Because Vega has a 3-frame, right? And he has faster normals than F.A.N.G does, so basically fighting the long range is better for you than up close overall, right? Like I said, hit and run style.
Mortsy lands the Street Fighter 2 combo, lands the crush counter, gonna get a mix-up.
Yeah, and you gotta be careful with that, because I have meter, right? If I can wake up react, then you gotta be careful, because it's frame 1 projectile invincibility on the EX roll. Yeah, the trade.
Advantageous position
I
now
tried to
for
stun
Mortsy.
actually off there.
Gets caught with a slide. Geki has Allegrias ready. Moves for the throw. Nice tech from Mortsy. The Allegrias finds a hole and finishes it
There we go.
off. Mortsy, valiant effort.
Yeah, I think basically what I was saying. I think try V trigger 1, use more medium up balls in neutral, and when I'm a bit closer to you or trying to get in, and use more command dashes when I do wall dive and that sort of thing. And you can use like heavy kick command dash to just get away. Because then basically I will never be close enough to you where if I go for a wall dive and I start coming towards you, there's no way I can clip you easily or to change trajectory enough where I would catch you. You have to play with the timing though, but I think that'll help you a lot. And yeah, just mixing up your style and your patterns of using fireballs or using, like I said before, using high commit and low committing moves, and just mix up the timing for it. Okay.